And we are recording. How are you?
What's up, girl? What's up? What's up? What's up? I I'm just I'm just uh, out of my mind right now because I'm literally driving and podcasting right now. This is a true multitasking, but doing it safe.
Mobile podcasting.
Mobile podcasting. So, but doing it safe, hands free. Making sure because I got shit to do tomorrow. Ain't nobody got time to be in no accidents and
That's right.
hurting myself, hurting somebody else. Um, but yes, it seems like it's been forever since we've gotten together. Things are slowing down a little bit because summer is approaching, and we
We're
need a break
one
like
month
everybody
out.
else.
We're
Yes,
1 month out from our 2 month vacation because Expose the Podcast, we typically take 2 months off for the summer so we can live life, at least a break from podcasting.
yeah,
But
we'll
this
be
month
doing
we
more.
we really wanted to like end it with a bang, and this is something we've never done. But before we get into all of that, I'm Natalie Hayden,
And I'm Laverne Badger,
and we
and
are
expose the
Expose the podcast. So,
expose the
yes,
podcast.
guys, welcome back to another episode of Expose the podcast, where we share everything about life after domestic abuse and everything in between. And the in between so happens to be our men. We cannot continue the life of healing and that journey of healing without acknowledging and honoring the men in our lives. And so this month,
Yep,
we really wanted to take an initiative and really just interview our men, and specifically men that are doing the work of not just the mental health aspect of things, but
right.
also they do work in the community and they are supporting and encouraging and acknowledging others to do the same. So they're mentors. So, yeah, we're really excited about this month, right? Because it's Father's Day
I'm
month.
totally, I'm totally excited about it. And like Natalie said, we've never really focused on men in June, but we've always talked about it. We've always had men the center of what we do. If you've been following us for any time, you know that we respect and know that the change that's needed to end abuse starts with our men and the support of our men. So we just our first guest on Celebrating Men, we've known him forever, and the community knows him. I, I don't know how much we can say about this dude. I don't. It's not even that we need. It really needs an introduction because if you anywhere in the Midwest, you already know who he is. So
Yeah.
who would that be, Miss Nat?
Well, it's he just said it's a G thing. So
Right.
it's all about, G's Clippers, Mr. G Smith. He is doing his thing here in the city of Milwaukee, among so many other things outside of the city of Milwaukee. But let's
Right.
bring him in because he is our guest, our first guest
Woo!
for the month of June. So here we are. Welcome.
Thank you
Yes.
guys for that introduction, and
Yes.
thanks for having me.
Welcome, and we appreciate just who you are as a male figure, that mentor and that model, that role model for not just young men, but men in general of things to aspire to. So, first of all, we want you. We when we typically have guests on that have displayed some level of aspirations and reaching heights of success, we let them pat themselves on the back. So, what are some things you got going on? What are some accomplishments? I just saw online that you're celebrating how many years of being in the business?
26 years. 26.
26 years. That's a whole adult.
26 years.
That's
Right.
all it is. I know. Make me feel kind of mature.
Yes. Very seasoned and mature.
That's all right. We mature in these streets, but we need
Yes.
that maturity to help grow continue to grow our communities, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, G's Clippers just turned 26 years old June 1st. It's been a very fun ride. Very thankful. It's been very rewarding to myself and so many others that played a part and the success of Geesclippers over the past 26 years.
I'm so glad that you said
More. Yeah.
I'm so glad that you said that, others played a part in your success, because there's so many
Absolutely.
people that say, I'm self-made, I got here by myself. But can you speak to that aspect of things, to young men specifically? Because we want to talk to our young guys that are out there and they're feeling like, hey, I got to do it by myself. But the truth is, what do you say to that?
We're much better together. We're much greater together. I mean, trust me. When you have other individuals helping you, standing beside you, helping you navigate through the tough times, it just makes it so much easier. And no one can really do major things. Nothing that'll last by themselves. So
Mm-hmm.
you always, anyone that know me, they know I always acknowledge my team and other individuals that has played a part in me being where I am, and Geesclippers being where we are as a shop. And if it's no tangible person that you can touch or feel, you gotta give reference to God. I mean, you
Come
have
on, somebody, on a
Right.
Sunday.
to whom much is given, much is required.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and so
Yes.
when you do get there, you require to, send that elevator back down, for other individuals to come up. So we
Oh,
all
man.
we
I
all
love
we're
that.
all in this together. We're all in this together.
That just gave me chills when you said send the elevator back down. And sometimes the elevator can get jammed. Sometimes it has to stop at other floors
It
before
will.
so there's a process to everything, right? So
Well,
with that being said, like, how I noticed that not only are you a barbershop, but you're like multifaceted. There's like this interconnectedness where you've aligned, connection, communication, building and fostering healthy relationships within our male community, within the community in general as a whole. And then you've incorporated mental health. What is that?
well, at G's, what I've always envisioned was to basically have my barbershop be like I envisioned barbershops were back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, where we truly was the heartbeat of the community, where good
Mhm.
share, where good news was shared, where town hall meetings was held, where politicians can talk to their constituents, where we can really be a part of the full health of the person and not just helping the person look good. So that's where you get the whole initiative that I've done through G's MKE Wellness Clinic.
Yeah.
Those who have not been in G's Clippers, I have a 12 by 12 room in that 8,000 square foot facility. And that 12 by 12 room is our clinic, is an actual health clinic
Wow.
Mm.
where
Wow.
you could come to G's Clippers and get your blood pressure checked, your blood glucose levels checked, your HIV tests, STI, STD checks.
Is
Uh,
this
Wow.
anybody? Who
this
is
is
this open
anybody.
to?
This is anybody for free.
Insurance, no insurance? What's
No
that?
insurance needed. We will help
Really?
you find insurance, help you find a physician. We have what we call wellness geniuses on staff, aside from the nurse performing the physical things to the people. So the wellness genius will help navigate you through the different other things that we offer. So it's an all around effort. We have so many great partners that is helping us do the work that we do. I'm talking about from continuing education to food securement. We got
Hmm.
Pete's on board. We have MATC on board. Wisconsin on board, the Badgers or whatever, the college there. For those that want to further their education, we have so many components with G's MKE Wellness Clinic because we're focusing on the whole
Yeah.
body and and the mental health piece. I think mental health is probably the number one most undiagnosed condition in our communities. So I
Hmm.
think that the more we educate our barbers and educate each other, and have forums, to make people look more comfortable with talking about mental health and the things that they might be dealing with as far as their mental health is concerned. I think it'll be just so much easier to help individuals and
Mm.
communicate. So we
So
got
how
that
did you
piece.
so how did you get to I'm sorry, G, but how did you get to the point to say that that was needed?
Well,
what was the driver? Just having people in your chair, and just over the years of having multiple discussions with individuals.
that's what I was about to say. I mean, it's definitely from being in the community. Being in that barber shop, having 30 barbers in that barbers and stylists in the shop. In any shop, of course, with 30 barbers, you got thousands of people coming through those doors weekly. So you see the state of our community through a lens like not many.
Right.
And
Right.
conversing with people on a daily basis and seeing the hurt and pain, that
Yeah.
they, I'm sure, sometimes don't even see themselves,
Right.
and seeing like, okay, I need to be a part of helping this individual. So, and I believe I mean, like I said earlier, to whom much is given, much is required. We are as popular as we are, and in the community, on that corner of Garfield and MLK for a reason.
Yep.
We have a
Right.
responsibility to leave that community in a better place than we
And we
found it.
found it. Yep.
And so
Yep.
that's
Yes.
all I'm
Yes.
doing. That's all I'm doing is trying to do what I can, use the resources and relationships I have to come together for a common goal, and that's to heal the hood.
So
Now,
with Expose the Podcast, we are a podcast where we like to unpack uncomfortable conversations. And sometimes that is usually the gateway, the bridge to someone's healing. And so we know that men can oftentimes struggle, and sometimes women can be a little bit aggressive in requiring, certain things as far as like breaking down what's going on with you, and you tend to shut down. I've noticed that I think it was you that offered the space, and Quab and I have these male forums that you were talking about. Well, men can just, be, first of all, in a safe environment, in confidence, and there's no judgment, and then they can experience the vulnerability that's needed to that healing, right?
Right. Well, what you're speaking of is an event that we started, and we meaning myself, the city of Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
and the Fatherhood Initiative. What Tasha is heading over there, doing an
Mm-hmm.
right.
amazing
We love
job.
Tasha.
So those entities, and Kwabena is the host, moderator of that initiative. What it looks like is one Monday a month. We meet at Geesclippers on a day we're closed, 5 o'clock in the evening. We normally out of there. We ended at 7:30. This has been sponsored extremely well. So we feed the guys, cousins, Submarine or Subway, or we have vendors that have come in. And it's an all male initiative. It's called Real Men, Real Talk
Mm-hmm.
Barbershop Series. So, and it has been an amazing effort. I have a portable stage at Geesclippers that we set up. We have four chairs on that stage. Um, and we pick guys from different genres, if you will, or age groups. We have a teen on stage. We have someone in their 20s or 30s on stage. We have someone in their 30s, 40s on stage. And then we have an OG, like 60 or above. And then we always have a mental health therapist there as well. So we have various mental health therapists on board. So what Kwabena does, he has an amazing job at making everyone feel comfortable,
Yeah.
open, to talk, and just let them know that, nothing is being recorded. This is a platform where you can be yourself, where you can get help, where
Right.
you can just unload, and you wouldn't believe the conversations that we've had. We've
I
had
can
guys
only imagine.
literally talked about, they thought about suicide, talked about the struggles of taking care of their kids or needing to take care of their kids, but not able to do it financially.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the it's unbelievable. Guys shed tears on many occasions at Real Men Real Talk, and we're talking about a group of like 75 to 125 men only.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so it was an amazing. I mean, just a great time, just a great time.
So so I absolutely love, I'm just gonna say I absolutely love that
Move.
there's that they're recognizing that men need, not to say that we dismiss all the resources that women have and have had over the years, but that now it's being highlighted how much help that our men need, specifically our black men, and black men leading and helping and guiding other black men and making it okay. Because I swear when I first heard this, I was just like, why we can't come? like
No, you cannot
why
come.
we can't
No,
be
it's a sacred
everywhere all
space.
the time. We can't be
No.
everywhere all the time, and we can't help as nurturing as we try to be, and try to be to just want to be able to take care of everything and everybody. We can't build a man. We can't build
Right.
the mental health well-being of men. We can't even raise
Well,
men.
what I say, Laverne, to that, um, it really takes other men to help men.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for a woman. Not saying she can't do it, but it will be hard, and it's easier for a man to help another man that man looks up to, if you will.
Right.
That man really, when it's a guy that looks up to another guy, and that guy who is being viewed as such, if you will. I don't know, big to this guy. When he
Mm-hmm.
unveil or take off his baggage and show this guy, listen, man, these are the challenges I've had and I've overcome it. You can do it too. And I would
Right.
like to think that's the platform I think that we foster there at Geesclippers, at those Real Men Real Talk. I mean, we have so many men that's hurt, so
Mm.
many men that is wounded, just like women, and we all know, hurt people hurt people.
Right.
And a
Right.
lot
That's a
of
good
times
one.
these guys just doing another reason why it's hard for women to help a man, because men have something that comes naturally, like an ego, if you will.
Right.
It's kind of hard for a man to really dumb down, himself, or if I shouldn't say dumb down, maybe show a sign of weakness, and it's hard
Right.
for him to really open up, because he don't want to be viewed as weak, but when you're have a platform as such as Real Man Real Talk barbershop series, and you see so many men, taking off, their armor, if you will, and just
Yeah.
opening up and being receptive to other brothers, conversing about things that you would normally hear brothers talk about. And you're like, even if you don't say anything as a man in terms of getting involved with that conversation, at least you left there like, man, wow, I really need
That's
to do some work. Like, wow, that really made me look at things so much different. Wow,
so
he's going through the same thing I've been going through.
right.
He's going through the same, even though I didn't say anything, but
Mm-hmm.
man, he's thinking the
Right.
same thing I was. He had these thoughts as well.
Right.
It's
Right.
just, I mean, it's gonna take us healing us. It's gonna take
Oh,
brothers
I
helping
love
brothers.
that. I love that. The
I have a
so we
question.
talked about. Oh, go ahead, Nat.
Go ahead, Laverne. My bad.
So we talk about the healing of the men, but you're a father as well, right?
Yes.
But you're not just the biological father of of boys. You also father other boys, community boys, doing things. So not only are you trying to repair and change the narrative of adult men, but you trying to change the game with the boys who are going into manhood. So you starting with a whole nother generation
Yeah.
of trying to eliminate certain problems in our
Well,
community.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm so passionate about helping community youth. Back in the 70s and 80s, when I was coming up, early 90s, you majority of our households in the urban community, both parents were involved.
Mm-hmm.
If both parents weren't there, it was two-parent homes. If it wasn't a two-parent home, that neighbor, that uncle, that grandfather, played a major role.
Yep. Yep.
Even in the barbershops, you rarely saw a woman in the barbershop. You had
Mm-hmm.
men bringing their sons, nephews, grandsons, neighbors to the barbershop. So that's where it wasn't a big deal to see the Jet Beauty of the Week plastered on the wall at the barbershop. The risque conversations at times, the movies, if you will, that I wouldn't dare play in the barbershop today, would be playing back then. Because I said 75% of households, both parents were there. Now here we are in 2021. I would like to think it's probably close to just the opposite. I think about 75% of households in the urban community, there's only one parent there. And we know most times that one parent is a woman. And so now the barbershop play a totally different role now. Now for the most part, that African-American male, that barber is probably the only positive male role model that boy will see on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Or bi-weekly basis, because we know MPS schools have a shortage in African-American men teachers or presence, so we have to play a different role. So we have to fill that void. We have to fill that gap, and we're doing whatever we possibly can. I mean, like I said, we can't run barbershops like we did back in the days, so I mean, there's a certain social responsibility I feel barbershops have. I always say it's two businesses in an urban community that can truly change the trajectory of that community. One being the barbershop and one being the church.
Yeah, yes, that's good. I have a question for you. I wanted to know, what is it that you can say to a woman out there that's looking to support in the men in her lives, in her life, their healing? What would you suggest to her instead of her trying to be the fixer? What would you say to her?
Well, I don't know if the woman can be the fixer, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
but at least create an atmosphere, a stage where he can truly communicate open and honest with her. Every man, I feel, at some point in time in his relationship will try to see what he can and can't share with his woman.
Mm-hmm.
How that woman responds, what she brings up again, if you will dictate what he will and won't share with her in the future.
Yep.
So I think
Good
if
point.
that woman
Good point.
leaves herself open to be receptive, even though she might want to bring this back up, and might be feeling a little burning in her belly of jealousy, maybe, she have to be strong. She have to try her best to bite her tongue. Because I'm going to tell you something. A man will be in the barbershop and brag about what he can and can't share with his woman, or what he can share with his woman, if you will. Man, my girl don't trip on that. I can talk to my girl about anything. You rarely hear that, but that tells me so much about that woman. Either that woman truly knows how to get her man to share anything with her, truly know how to get that man to be her best friend, or she doing her own thing and she really don't care. But I would like to think is the first thing I stated, that she just, really know how, because it is an art. I'm gonna tell you something. It's an art, I feel, for a woman to have that.
Mm-hmm.
When a woman truly knows what makes a man tick and how a man really prides himself on having a really good friend relationship with his woman, because that it's been so loosely said over years. I'm married to my best friend. I'm married to my best friend. I mean, come on now. Are you really married to your best friend? Are you really keeping it real gangster with your wife?
Yeah,
Are you really keeping it real with your woman? I mean, with your man? I mean, like really. I mean, but I think it's time, really. I think that women can do more of a job with healing these men out here, but not through the healing that you might think that you need to do. I mean, not from a therapist standpoint. No, just creating a stage or a platform where you can be that sounding board, if you will, with no real friction.
And judgment, I'm thinking.
Judgment and all of that as well. Yeah. It's important. I mean,
That's
men
good.
need that. They need it.
So I have a question. Laverne done went out for a second, but she'll be back. That's okay. That's the great thing about podcasting is two of us. What is it? What is that you do for your own mental health, self care? What is it that you do today
Well,
after the pandemic?
what I do for my own mental uh, um, self care, if you will, is anybody to know me. I'm extremely positive energy person. I don't allow any negativity to fester, to set up shop, to catch roots within me, my spirit at all. I don't entertain any negative people,
Wow.
any negative dialogue. Don't So that's
Mhm.
one. I guard who I am as a human being. I used to say happiness means so much to me, but I think what means more to me, and I think is and what more individuals should really focus on is having peace. I'm
Hello,
truly
somebody.
at
Man.
peace. I would rather have peace over
Hmm.
happiness any day. So
Well,
I, but I do,
peace is gonna bring on happiness.
Yeah, it
They
brings it
go
all.
no
hand in
doubt,
hand.
no doubt. I agree. I agree. But peace, when you have true peace, I mean, boy, I mean, what you can accomplish,
Yep.
how well you breathe is so is so much smoother,
Hmm.
and another thing I do, cardio. Cardio is major for me. That's another thing I do as far as self care. A lot of people don't understand that is that cardio kills the negative enzymes that's associated with stress, and
Yep.
that's so important for me. One that don't feel that I'm stressed because I'm not mentally accepting it or taking it on consciously.
Hmm.
Subconsciously, it's still having an effect on my body, my
Right.
mind, whether I'm accepting the stress or not. So when you do cardio, the constant cardio, I say at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day for at least 3 days a week is what, professionals recommend. So that's what I do. I do cardio. I have a life coach now that I meet with once a week. I say life coach because more than just a therapist. I actually have a therapist as well, which happens to be an extremely good friend of mine. Shout out to Tracy Golden.
All right. Shout out. Shout out. It looks like it's just the two of us now. Laverne has, but it's all good.
That's why it's two
The-
of y'all. That's why it's two of y'all.
that's why it's two of us.
Can't
Yes.
never one fall off.
Man,
But
hello, somebody. You gotta be. What do you? So I want to ask you this question. Over the years, you said, okay, so peace of mind will bring happiness, and so we prioritize. We want to adjust that a little bit. How do you feel about being extremely flexible and adjustable? What do you think about that? Because this last year, all of us had to make some of those changes, right? And just really go with the flow. So, how do you feel about that being a part of coming into your awareness and then now being at the top of the list with peace of mind, being adjustable?
well, I think that I mean that's something I thank God that I was blessed with, being able to adjust in any environment. I would like
Hmm.
to think I'm somewhat of a chameleon that I'm able to adjust so easily. But for someone that it does not come as easy is definitely something
It's
that's
devastating,
oh
right?
my,
Oh
and
my
it's
goodness.
something that's needed. I mean, when you're able to adjust, in different environments with um, minimal heartache or pain, if you will. When you're
Hmm.
able to do it without being so drained, being able to adjust in different environments, because it did take a toll on so many. Last year took a major toll on so many with the whole COVID. Being inside, you
Hmm.
know, um, uh, every day, all day, no stores open, malls,
Hmm.
restaurants, movies, skating rinks, things that you did to take your mind off of this and that. You're literally there in the house, doing Zooms. And I mean, I'm sure that was devastating to so many.
Yeah.
It proved, as much, with the domestic violence being up as much as it was, homicides. You wonder, like, how the heck are people killing each other and they supposed to be in a dang on house?
Right.
It lets you know how many individuals that was just so stuck on the, pouring their pain or their thoughts into things and places and people rather than really, really taking care of themselves.
Right.
Self-care. But last year forced us to do that.
At least some of us, right? Some of us.
You're right.
So, one thing I will say, and I really like to keep our conversations under 35, 45 minutes. Laverne is going to be gone on to enjoy her Sunday. We're going to relieve her of her podcasting duties, and I can be able to handle it and take it from here. It's all about being flexible and keeping the show going without, being totally devastated and thrown off. But this is, I think, for me, it was really important spiritually, where I was able to get a higher spiritual awareness. And I want to make that like somewhat the last question. What can you say to men that may be looking for some answers in all the wrong places? And I know that you are a man of faith. You gave honor to God, in all that you do. Even the picture behind you speaks volumes. It's a man reaching up and he's helping somebody else. I mean, that is your motto.
That's actually myself. That's actually myself at the top. And that's Manan Sabir.
Come on now. That's all right. I love it.
And one of my guys who's a photographer, he took that picture. We were actually, this was 5:30 in the morning, right at sunrise. We were at the lakefront. That's that wall at the lakefront towards that curve at the War Memorial. I was on the top of the wall, Manan was on the bottom, and then we switched places, and he has one at Sherman Phoenix and at his home. So I have this picture at Geesclippers as well, because it's totally what I feel like we should be doing as brothers, helping one another up. But yes, I definitely think it's extremely important to have a higher power that you believe in, that you can call on, that you can confide in, someone other than flesh and bones. You have to have that other power. And conviction means a lot to me. When you have a conviction level that prevents you from doing and acting out in things that that is not right, if you will. But I'm so glad that I was raised the way I was raised, that I do have a conviction to allow me not to do certain things that I know is not ethically right. So yeah, I would challenge each guy out there to make sure he finds some fold, some higher power, some faith, to get in, to create balance in his life. Because I love the balance I have in my life with my worldly side and my spiritual side. It helps my peace. It helps me with my peace, and reading someone else's journey, autobiographies and things of that nature of individuals that you may have looked up to at some point in time, or have had so many accomplishments through their life. Read their autobiographies and what they've done, or read just self-help books, motivational books. One book I not long finished was which I read it again, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which helps you be able to communicate better with people, co-relationships with people. And I try my best to keep myself informed and empowered, so I can then help other individuals and help my future businesses that I'm looking at doing. Which hopefully by the end of this year, both of them will be out. And one being my hair product line, which is eye care hair maintenance, which will be consist of 3 products initially: a shampoo, a leave-in conditioner, and a bump product, ingrown hair bump product for men, and and women with bikini line, the razor bumps.
Yep.
And the other business is G's Masterclass. So basically, what I plan to do is try to monetize what I've been able to build in G's Clippers over these past 26 years. Help individuals through a program, G's Masterclass, where they can purchase online, that I've already formulated, and or seminars I will be holding, speaking engagements, one-on-one with G, aspiring barbershop, beauty salon owners, or other small businesses, if you will, and this from branding to marketing to your logo. Is it brandable? Situational things that can arise in your business. The whole gamut, creating community partners, your social responsibility. The whole gamut.
And the reason why it's called master is because you have become somewhat of a master over all of these things, these components that you're offering, right?
Yeah, I think that's what all of our mission is as business
Yep.
owners. Even you guys, your mission is to become a master, an
Yep.
expert, if you will, in podcasting. Doing the research, doing the work. I think that's all of our goal in business is to become experts in that particular business. So I would like to think, being in G's Clippers for 26 years and having 16 barbershops and beauty salons come from G's Clippers, meaning barbers or stylists that has worked at G's Clippers that went on to open up their own businesses. I think that's something to be said.
Yeah.
And, to have so many apprentices finish under G's Clippers, that's something to be said, and to sustain.
Yeah.
As such, and to have the community partners that I've had, and to have a clinic within the barbershop, being a trailblazer, being able to sustain, in the upper echelon or the higher tier of barbershops and beauty salons, and not just the state, but the country, to being having national notoriety, being in a Washington Post story,
Yeah.
New York Times story, being on ESPN. That's something to be said, So I would like to think that we've reached the expert status, if you will, in the barber and beauty salon industry. And I think it's time for me to be able to help other barbershops and beauty salons, and that's a way that I can truly heal hoods all across the country.
Come
And
on
if I'm
now.
talking to the owners of these shops or the future owners of these shops and talking to them about their social responsibilities, I am helping these communities
Yeah.
all across the world.
Man, I think that's the perfect way to end. And first of all, we just really want to say thank you. And you are a living legend. And we like to give people their flowers, of course, while they're here. And we really appreciate the work that you are doing socially, personally, and connecting lives and helping people, heal one another. And so that's really important to us. That's one of our missions, is to provide, hope and healing through transparency and all those things, and through uncomfortable conversations. And even just having a conversation with you has really allowed us to be better. I always say Ubuntu means because of you, we can. And so you being all that you've been called to be allows us to be all that we've been called to be. So we want to personally thank you, Mr. Smith, and all that you're doing here in the world. You are impacting the world in such a way, and we cannot move forward in the healing process without you. So thank you.
Well, thank you. I so appreciate those sentiments, and thanks for having me. Um, I can't say I have all the answers, but I'm working. I'm just working on being the best me, the best version of me as possible,
Yep.
and help as many men and women along the way as I possibly can before I leave here. I just want to leave this earth, this world, a little bit better than I found it.
Hey, you've already done it. So thank you. If you want to hang back, we are going to wrap things up, and I will be right back.
All
Okay.
right.
Wow, that was a great conversation with Mr. Smith. I know him personally as G. He's been a great friend to me and Laverne. He's a powerful legend, walking legend, living legend here in the city of Milwaukee. he's has his hands in everything. And if you are living on purpose, you are someone that probably will, find yourselves in several things that you've been called to do. And he's definitely answered his calling. And we really appreciate him in so many ways. So if you have any questions for us, we will have some of the questions, his quotes, and all of that. He said, "Us healing us." That was a great quote. Pardon me, for men, and we want to provide you all with that and the inspiration that we've received from him. So, without further ado, Laverne is gone, but I am Natalie Hayden with Exposed to Podcast, and we will be talking to you guys next week, Wednesday. Thank you so much, and see you next week.